And when I came to, I looked to my left, and it was Ed Koch, who had been my nemesis when he was mayor. And I thought he had died and gone to hell. June 19th. Always be remembered for Juneteenth, when the slaves were freed. And now it'll be remembered as the death of Willie Mays at 93, the Say Hey Kid. But forgotten by all here at WABC, except for Frank Morano, who knew that 32 years ago, in the morning, I was shot 5 times with hollow point bullets on the orders of John Gotti Sr. to John Gotti Jr. and the Gambino crime family. The driver of the cab that I jumped into that had been, let's say, customized to be a rolling coffin was Joey D'Angelo, the shooter from Canarsie, Michael Leonardi, who had killed many people before, got the contract from Joseph Corazzo, who was a consigliere to the Gambino crime family, and little Nick Corazzo, who ran the Gambino crew in Canarsie. And so I was lucky to survive that morning, jumping out of that cab. Leonardi assumed I was dead, and eventually the driver began to cooperate with the feds. 12 years later, when John Gotti Jr. was arrested for the kidnap and attempted murder of me, along with a whole host of others. But it was Joey D'Angelo who testified what had transpired. Michael Leonardi ended up doing 20 years as he was shifted around from federal prison to federal prison. And now he's out and about. Hey, if you want to take another pop, Michael, maybe you should go to Rodman's Neck and improve your marksmanship. But the point is, that was then. And I want to thank Frank Morano because on the other side of midnight, he played what was my first interview on WABC after I had recovered. Remember, I was brought to Bellevue. They immediately started cutting me open. I was in really bad shape. As an ICU, I had tubes in every orifice of my body. And when I came to, I looked to my left, and it was Ed Koch, who had been my nemesis when he was mayor. And I thought he had died and gone to hell. Cardinal O'Connell was there with the last rites vestments, extreme unction, as it later was called. But luckily, I survived. But then I gave my first interview back to WABC as I was recovering in bed in Bellevue Hospital.
Well, it was amazing because yesterday I had the visits of the 2 Phils. Phil Donahue going, I can't believe it, I can't believe it. I said, Phil, you do programs about this every day. And then Phil Caruso of the PBA, who I never thought I would see in my worst nightmare, and he was there to shake my hand and offer me the support of the PBA in an attempt to track down the mutants with chromosome damage who did this.
That was Lynn Samuels in the background. We miss her dearly as she passed to the hereafter. And then the kids at PS 254 in Brooklyn, over on Avenue Y, did a tribute to me that was brought live to everyone on WABC by Tom Gordon and his brother, who were great contributors at that time to everything that was Brooklyn.
Wait till you hear this, okay? The students from Barbara Kowalski's class at PS 254 in Brooklyn, they put together a special message for you. You ready to hear this?
Yes, I am.
Get out your hanky, Curtis.
Dear Curtis, you are my hero. Your friend Mark. Dear Curtis, get well. I hope you feel much better. I wish you would get out of the hospital faster and fight the bad guys. Your friend Philip.
It took me many months to recover, and then I had to have reverse surgery. And then 6 months later, the head of detectives for the NYPD held a press conference and said, after a thorough investigation, we can assure you that no members of organized crime were involved with the shooting of Curtis Sliwa. and it was left open. 12 years later, because of Mikey DiLeonardo, he dropped dime on Gotti because he was going to be arrested for 3 murders, and he got arrested, and there were 4 separate trials. So for 12 years, the New York City Police Department acted like it wasn't the Gottis, it wasn't organized crime, when it was all the time. But it was great. I had the support of all the listeners of WABC and also the tributes of those children, many of whom that I've met since in their adult years, and they remember coming together at PS 254 in Brooklyn to give that tribute to me. And let's face it, it made me feel good. It made me feel good that I survived.